This is the Ferrari Amalfi, or as I'm calling it, the baby Rari. It's the little one. Well, it's a little bit like me. We've got an entry-level presenter and an entry-level Ferrari. Genuinely, I didn't think it would feel like this. Look, I like a car with a bit of muscle. It's why I like the 812 so much. Yes, it's a delicate Italian piece of art, but look at it from the rear and it's an absolute monster. Now, the Amalfi is less in your face. You know, it's a smaller V8 model. It's entry level. It's not meant to be scary. Look, it's not a 250 GTO. It's a brand new modern Ferrari. I do think the tweaks it's had since the Roma has improved the styling. If you look at the rear, it looks wider. It's not. They've just improved the haunches, so it's got a chunkier look to it. And then at the front, we've got less of a shark nose, which is better. But what is this car up against? Okay, so technically speaking, this isn't my first Ferrari review. Obviously, I had a go in the 812, but that's my dream car. That is a perfect special unicorn that I love so much and simply has no flaws. This one is going to be an actual review. We've got an entry-level car. In fact, it's brand new. I am pretty chuffed to be, I think, the first automotive journalist to drive it. In fact, they've left the wrapper on the key for me. I'm categorising this car as a daily sports car, so I'm putting it up against things like the 911 Turbo S and Aston Martin Vantage. Now, the Porsche is more powerful, and redlining a screaming Porsche, it's pretty epic. The Aston is a little bit slower, but it is cheaper. So why would you get the Ferrari? Ferrari got its start in racing. It's no secret that Enzo himself just wanted to make cars for the track. Road cars were just a way to make racing happen, but to do that, he had to make things that people want. Way back, they had V12s. Today, those are reserved for the big stuff, not like this one. Little car, little engine. Not the big V12 boy, a sweet little 3.9-litre V8. But look back at the 125S, the first Ferrari. It had a glorious engine, some seats, a steering wheel. That was it. Things evolved, sure, but racing was the reason for everything. Ferrari is pretty good at the whole racing thing. I mean, you've got Ferrari Challenge, GT Cups, F1, Le Mans. It is in every pore of the Ferrari brand. I appreciate not everyone that buys a Ferrari really cares so much about it, but it literally makes up every chromosome of DNA in the little prancing horse that is sat on the badge of your car. Fact. We're calling it entry level, and that almost sounds a little bit harsh. It sounds like it's offensive, because actually this might be as pure as you can get with a Ferrari. It's front engine, rear wheel drive, it's elegant, it's beautifully styled. I mean, the interior is stunning. It sounds good. I wouldn't say it sounds fantastic, but you start it up and you do feel like you're starting a Ferrari. Okay, it doesn't look like an old classic. It can't. Ferrari as a brand can't rest on nostalgia. They have to modernize, they have to move with the times. This looks modern. It's got a touch of EV to it, but I'm not offended by it. It's also not a hybrid. You know, it's got a very good V8 in it. It's a lot more powerful than the 458, which was already pretty punchy. It also has incredibly fancy new ABS Evo brakes that essentially means you're braking via sensor rather than physical stuff. It's got a nice seat, it's got a lovely steering wheel, and everything a Ferrari can do, just wrapped up into a neat, sturdy little daily. I'm going to be totally honest with you here. I have very little interest in practicality in a car. I daily a very uncomfortable modded A35 alongside an ancient L322 with literally no mod cons and a 110 that's even older. Practicality is not my thing. I kind of just care about how they drive. But this is a daily, so people that are wanting to buy this car do actually care about that stuff. So let's discuss it, shall we? Can we start with buttons? Because they've brought them back. They'd got rid of them in the Roma, the customers spoke, and now they're back. We've got a real life start button and your switchy mode button. I'm really sorry to the Ferrari fans, because I know that has a really fancy Italian word. Anyway, buttons, they're back, which we love, we enjoy, and really good from Ferrari. They listen to their customers to such an extent that if you've got a modern Ferrari without those buttons, they are introducing a scheme where you can go in and get them retrofitted. I like that, that's nice. Modern cars have to have your beepy beepies and telling you off for being in the middle of the lane and driving too fast, blah, blah, blah. Really nice little shortcut to turn that off. One button here, two buttons there, done, it's off. easy. Obviously it does come back on again every time you drive because of safety and legislation. Other bits and bobs, I like that the steering wheel still kind of looks a bit Formula 1-esque because of all the buttons. The indicator's up here. I will never get over that. It's the most Ferrari thing. I genuinely find it so special. Everything is reachable with your thumbs, essentially. The flappy paddles are enormous. Fun, really fun. Other actual practical things, it is technically a 2+2. You technically have 2 seats in the back. I would fit in the back. Not sure who else would. Not a lot of space, but you can fit a baby in there. Fun fact, you can fit a baby in there in a baby car seat. And I don't know whether this is a positive or a negative when I say this, but having driven this for a couple of days, I have frequently forgotten that I'm driving a Ferrari. And I say that because genuinely it is incredibly comfortable to cruise at. More so than a 911. There, I said it. I mean, that might be blasphemy. And if my father's watching, I didn't say it. Okay, less yapping, more driving. We are in a Ferrari. Let's change the mode. We're gonna go into sport. I think I'm gonna put it in manual as well, just for fun. Why not? Power-wise, 0 to 62 in 3.3 seconds with a top speed of 199. I'm not gonna demonstrate the entire capabilities of this car on this country road. I'm gonna give it a good go. The biggest thing I feel about this car is it is so smooth. It corners like butter. It's so planted, it's so sturdy, it's so trustworthy. Ironically, it's everything the 812 wasn't. You can predict it. It's easy to drive. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, it's a Ferrari, but it is quite easy to drive and quite easy to drive fast. It sort of teases you with a tiny bit of rear wheel squirreling, but then catches itself. Whereas in an 812, you would be sideways and inside a hedge. And I guess that's what's key with this car. It's power, but it's controlled power. We talked also about the new braking system that it's got. It brakes fantastically. So it'll really stop and it'll also really go. But key to that is it'll do it in a predictable, controlled way. You can trust it, which means you can drive it better, you can drive it faster. Now, I joked at the start of the video that we've got an entry-level Ferrari and an entry-level presenter. And what I sort of meant by that for me is that I'm only just getting used to this idea of really objective reviewing, of taking my own likes, dislikes, opinions out of the equation and looking at a car for what it is and what it's meant to be. And I think Ferrari have done what they set out to do. I mean, this thing is a really nice size, it's practical, it's really comfortable, but it's also got the luxury, the elegance, the power to make it proud to wear that Ferrari badge. But I'm just gonna take my objective hat off for a second and whack my Izzy one back on. And I'm gonna ask myself the question, is this my Ferrari? No, my friends, it is not. And I'll tell you for why. This thing's too tame. It's nice, it's more than nice. It's a good car, it's really trustworthy, it's a good daily. But I want my Ferrari to terrify me. I want to get in the car and hear it roar at me when it starts up. I'm quite happy to sit for 10 minutes for the thing to warm up because it's that difficult to run. I want to go around corners and never quite know how I'm coming out of them. I like the baby Rari, sure, but I think my Ferrari is a monster.